Hey everyone, welcome to this video lecture. In this lecture, we will look at how to check your Linux distribution. Knowing how to identify your Linux distribution is a fundamental skill, and this is because distributions ship with different features, settings, and configurations. They also use different package managers, affecting how software is installed and handled. And on goes the list of the differences between various Linux distributions. And therefore, knowing the Linux distribution you're using is crucial in making the right call when it comes to system management. Now in this guide, we will explore various ways of how to identify a Linux distribution. And for demonstration purposes, we'll be using a VPS instance of Ubuntu 24.04. You can use your preferred Linux distribution, as these commands will work across all distributions. Now to follow along, you can provision a cloud server at Cherry Servers, which is one of the leading European cloud infrastructure providers that offers robust and customizable cloud servers at affordable prices. Now, without much further ado, let's get started. One of the tools you can use to check your Linux distribution is the lsb release command. Now this is a built-in command line utility that displays distribution-specific information, including your system's description, release, and codename. Now to run this tool, simply run the command lsb_release. Now here you can hit the tab key for auto-completion and then pass the -a option. So this is the information you get. So here you can see we have the distributor ID, in this case Ubuntu. We have the description, which is Ubuntu 24.04.3 LTS. You also get information about the release. Okay, so here it's 24.04. Now for the codename, it only displays the first part of the codename. So for Ubuntu 24.04, the codename is Noble Newbat. So here you get just the first part, which is Noble. Now you can also decide to be more specific. So you can pass the -i option here. And this will give you just the distributor ID, or simply the name of the operating system. And in this case, it's Ubuntu. Okay. You can also pass the -c option. Now this will give you the codename as we saw earlier. So in this case, it's Noble. Also, you can pass the -r option. Now this will give you the release code. So here you can see it's Ubuntu 24.04. So that's how you go about using the lsb release tool. And as you can see, it provides basic information about your system distribution. And this will vary depending on the Linux distribution you're running. So in this case, we are running Ubuntu 24.04. So in case you're running a different distribution, this will likely change. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check out the other tool. The other tool you can use to check your Linux distribution is the hostnamectl command. Now hostnamectl is both a networking and information command line tool, and you can use it to configure a static name or display the operating system details. Now without any command line options, it displays a plethora of details. Okay, so just run the command hostname, then ctl, and hit enter. So this is what you get on your screen. So as you can see, we have the static hostname, which is Ubuntu. You get other information. For example, here you can see the icon name, the chassis, the machine ID, the virtualization. So now here you get information about the operating system. In this case, we are running Ubuntu 24.04. This is the kernel version, which is kernel version 6.8. You get the architecture, which is a 64-bit architecture. Okay, so this is the information you get using the hostname ctl command line tool. And you can also pipe this output to grep if you want to narrow down to the specific distribution name. So here we'll say grep -i. The -i option ignores case sensitivity. So here we are going to type the operating system directive. So here we're going to say operating system and then close this in single quotation marks. So this one here will reference this flag here, operating system. So here we are going to hit enter. And once again, you can see the operating system or the distribution you're running. And this coincides with what we have here, which is Ubuntu 24.04.3 LTS. So that's how you go about using the hostnamectl command. The other way you can check the Linux distribution you're running is by checking the OS release file. Now this is a text file that contains information about your operating system. Okay, now to view this file, simply use the cat command, then specify the full path, in this case /etc/os release, and hit enter. So as you can see, this is what you get. So already you can see we are running Ubuntu 24.04.3 LTS. The specific name is Ubuntu. Here you get the version ID. So you can scroll down and find more information. So here you can see the URL of the vendor, the support URL, and much more. And lastly, we have Fastfetch CLI tool. Now Fastfetch is a fast and modern replacement for the good old neofetch command. It's designed to be fast and more lightweight than the neofetch command. Now Fastfetch displays a summary of a system's key information, including your OS and distribution type, the kernel version. You also get information about your system metrics, including CPU, RAM, and disk usage. Now, since Fastfetch is a third-party tool, you need to install it, and at the moment it's not included in the default repositories for Ubuntu 24.04. Okay, so what you need to do is to head to your browser and search for Fastfetch, then head over to the GitHub link. So here you'll get more information about Fastfetch. So here in the README section, you'll get a summary of Fastfetch. So as you can see, Fastfetch is a neofetch-like tool for fetching system information and displaying it in a visually appealing way. It's written in C, okay? So as you can see, it's a cross-platform tool as it supports Linux, macOS, Windows, Android, OpenBSD, NetBSD, and much more. So come over here to the installation section. So here you'll see the installation instructions for different for different distributions. So as you can see here, you need to go to this GitHub page and grab the 64-bit tarball Debian file. Okay, so here you can go to this assets section, and here you need to grab the Debian 64-bit file, which is here. Okay, so scroll down to this part, and I'm going to copy the link, and then I'm going to go back to my terminal and download it. So I'm going to use the wget command to download the Debian file. So I'm gonna hit enter, and I'm going to confirm using the ls command. So as you can see, we have downloaded the Debian file. Now I'm going to run the file using the command sudo dpkg with the -i option, and then specify Fastfetch and hit enter. So this is going to install Fastfetch, and as you can see, Fastfetch is already installed. Now to launch Fastfetch for the first time, what you need to do, you can run the command Fastfetch, and here the first entry, you can see the OS type. So here we are running Ubuntu 24.04.3. okay, you can see information about the kernel, the uptime. So this system has been uptime for roughly 7 days. You can see more information about packages, the shell version, and here you can see information about the CPU, the GPU, the memory swap, the disk utilization, and the local IP. Okay, so here you can see the logo in ASCII format. All right, now it's also good to generate a configuration file, which will allow us to pass different modules as arguments on our screen. Okay, so to generate a configuration file, simply run the command fastfetch and then pass gen-config and hit enter. So this configuration file will be generated in your home directory under this path here. Okay, so you can use the cat command to preview this configuration. So here I'm going to copy this file path here and paste it there and hit enter. So as you can see, these are all the modules you can use or display on your terminal. Okay, so now for example, you can say Fastfetch, then use the OS module. So here I'm going to specify -s, then type OS and hit enter. So in this case, you can see we have filtered out only the OS information, and this is Ubuntu 24.04. Okay, you can also include or provide multiple modules separated by a full colon. Okay, so for example, we can say Fastfetch, and here we can display the OS. So I'm going to pass the -s option once again. So here I'm going to say OS, then kernel. So as you can see, I'm separating them using a full colon. So I can say also uptime, then CPU, then disk, and let's say local IP, like that, and hit enter. So as you can see, we get the information we have filtered out, and here you have the OS, the kernel, the CPU, uptime, disk, and the local IP information. Okay, so as you can see, Fastfetch is quite a fast and convenient way of not only displaying your OS information, but other parameters, including the kernel, the uptime, system metrics, and your local IP. Now you can also check out the man pages for more information, and you can run man Fastfetch and hit enter. So this is the information you get from the man pages, and as you can see, this is a fast and feature-rich system information tool similar to NeoFetch. You can get more information as you scroll all the way. So here are the command line options. Okay, so I'm going to quit by pressing Q, and this returns me back to the terminal. You can also run Fastfetch with the -h option. So this will give you command line options that you can pass using the Fastfetch tool to get more information. Okay, so this is a help page that shows you different command line options you can pass. Okay, and that's it, guys, for this lecture. So in this lecture, we have checked out various ways of checking out your Linux distribution, starting from the lsb command, hostnamectl, viewing the OS release file, and finally the Fastfetch command line utility. In case you found this video insightful, please don't forget to leave a like and smash the subscribe button to continue receiving more of these Linux videos. So from us, it's goodbye and see you in the next video.